everyone, it's Amber. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a book themed video that I haven't done in a long time. Today it's not going to be a review, it's going to be a haul. So these are all the books that I have kind of accumulated over the last couple of months-ish. There's a couple more, but those are a little bit more older. I just kind of wanted to get the most recent books that I have gotten. But these are still an accumulation over the last couple months. So with that being said, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about good 10 books. And I'm super excited. A lot of these I'm super eager to read. A lot of these are in the same genre. So I might include all those together. And do one after the other. And the others are more standalones. And a couple of these are a little bit more personal to me. A couple of these are just books that piqued my interest from different things that I saw on Facebook, or I read from different book groups that I follow. So yeah, it's all so exciting and I'm ready to get into it. So let's get started. First, let's not do the same genre kind of thing. Let's start off on a big bang kind of note. So I have Daughter of the Deep by Riordan. I know it's pronounced a certain way, but I've been saying Riordan my whole entire life. So apologies for that. So this is his newest book. I went to his website and I paid for the whole tour thing. I was supposed to go to a Zoom meeting and be with all these other different people and meet him, and it was supposed to be this huge thing. Apparently the site crashed for one of them, and one of the Zoom links, and then so they sent another one, and then that one people were sharing it, and so that one crashed, so I was never able to get in. And then the time kept changing. It was a mess. It was a bunch of different emails. I kept trying, never got in. But with this thing that I signed up for, I got a free t-shirt and a copy of the book signed. It was a pretty decent deal. The only thing is I didn't get to go to the event, and that was the one thing that I was super duper excited about. I emailed them, didn't get anything back. I asked for a refund on that part, didn't get anything back. I mean, the whole event was pretty cheap as it was, price wise, so I was okay, it's I just bought the book, but I would have liked to have gotten that experience because I've never done that, so that was kind of a bummer. So yeah, this one is kind of a tale based on 30 Leagues Under the Sea. I think it's 30. The number is escaping me. I'm terrible at this. Okay. But it's kind of a retelling of that. And I'm excited. I love that it's it takes place underwater, in the water. Gives me total Percy Jackson vibes without giving me Percy Jackson. He's not finished with Percy per se. He's doing a Nico book, and then he's doing a book on some other minor characters, but I'm excited about that. So I'm really behind on the series. I'm stuck on Trials of Apollo. I finished Magnus Chase, but I'm stuck on Trials, and I know that's the whole complete, they explain everything. It's the last of them, but maybe not the last of them. And I'm I don't know. I just didn't I was spoiled for the I'm stuck on, what's it called? I'm stuck on the Burning Maze. Am I stuck on? No. I'm stuck on the Hidden Prophecy. I didn't like what was revealed in the Burning Maze. It was spoiled to me. So that's that. I didn't, yeah. Haven't gotten around to it, but it's okay. So there's this one. It was part of the whole thing, and this is my first one, and it's by my favorite author that I got signed. It came signed. I'm so excited and happy. Of course, it wasn't in person, but we can't do that right now, so it's fine. But I'm so happy to have this. Next one is, do this one, Dead Silence. This one, if you I'm super into Halloween, in case you haven't noticed. I follow Jade the Libra. I've watched her YouTube. I love watching it around the holidays and spooky season. So I learned that she had like a book club thing on Facebook. Join. This one was recommended. It's not one that they read, but it was like recommended. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, that kind of looks like a mummy. I'm not sure, but like it also kind of looks like underwater kind of like thing. So let me see like what it's about. And I read the synopsis, fell in love with it. Let me see. Okay. Claire, I'm gonna not try to pronounce this name. I mean, okay, I'm gonna try, but like I'm gonna butcher it. Kovalik is days away from being unemployed, made obsolete, when her beacon repair crew picks up a strange distress signal. With nothing to lose and no desire to return to Earth, Claire and her team decide to investigate. What they find is shocking. The Aurora, a famous luxury space liner that vanished on its maiden tour of the solar system more than 20 years ago. A salvage claim like this could set Claire and her crew up for life. But a quick search of the ship reveals something isn't right. Whispers in the dark, flickers of movement, messages scrawled in blood. Claire must fight to hold onto her sanity and find out what really happened on the Aurora before she and her crew meet the same ghastly fate. Ghostly. It's spooky. That's what like drew me to it. The last part's a little bit different, but apparently like the people within the ship like killed each other, like, and they don't know why, and then she like starts having like images of like what happened. So sounded great, and I was really into like the spooky scary story vibe, which we'll get to in a minute. And so I was like, I should have included this, but it's a little different. And so I'm excited. Like, I am so excited. The book I'm reading right now, it's the second one from Stalking Jack the Ripper. I love the first one. The second one, it's okay. I'm just having trouble getting through it. I think I'm gonna finish it soon. I was gonna say this weekend, but like soon. Because I don't know, I'm just like struggling to get through it. So after that one, I think I'm gonna pick up this one or another one that I'm just really excited to read. Even though I have a whole bunch of other ones I have accumulated, it's like these are the ones that like I want to read first. Not that those are not piquing my interest. It's like these, particularly this one. So it's in space. It's got ghost. It's got murder, mystery. I'm all for it. I am all for it. It kind of gives me like what's that book name? The Carve the Mark series. I had to look over at my bookshelf, even though I just kind of finished it. Kind of vibes, which like in space. I didn't think I'd be really into those type of books, but this one's calling my name. So we shall see how that goes. I am super excited. I haven't seen what these books look like naked. All right, there we go. There's that one, beautiful. Let me do the other one, because Riordan has like some interesting designs sometimes. Ooh, this one's pretty. If you can kind of see, I got a dolphin, I got like an octopus, got like an orca, and some kind of shark. So, yeah, pretty cool. It's kind of simple on the side, but it's okay. I didn't even show you. Okay, so this is the side. It's kind of simple. I'm used to like really like in your face gold print from him, but it's okay. Next up, let's do this one. Okay, so this one is The Portrayal of Anne Frank. What made me want to buy this one, and these are all available on Amazon, this one and Dead Silence. So I got a little magazine from Walgreens. I'm super into Anne Frank. Like, since I read the book back in middle school, I am like super invested in like her story and just like her. I think I resonated a lot with her personality, not what happened to her as a kid. Like around that age, like I felt very much like in tune with like how she was feeling, like how she wrote, and like how she was a young writer. So all those emotions, like I was just like, I get you, and but then like she was going through that throughout this whole big thing that was going on, of course, to her people, and it's just like, it's insane. So anything Anne Frank, I love. I found a small little kind of like tattered book of her like poems and short stories like at a local bookstore when I used to live in LA. And so I have that. I have the original, her diary, and then I got a magazine from Walgreens, and they listed kind of like books that they had made about her other than the diary. And this one was one of them. And this is a whole book. I'm not sure what to expect. It's more kind of like, I guess, research based, but I'm still kind of excited and I'm still kind of happy to have it, and I still really want to read it. It's about kind of figuring out who ratted them out, and it's insane because I mean, it's kind of sad because there's all these different people who were hiding and people ratted them out and everything, but her story is like the one that we know about most. So it's like this whole investigation. It's more recent about figuring out why they were discovered, because they were hiding for a long time and pretty well, they were pretty well hidden. So I'm really excited to read this one. I'm not, I'm surprised I wanted to read it. I think it's just because it's Anne Frank, and it, like, I'm into like documentaries and like biographies and stuff like that. Um, but I was more so when I was like younger. And then like in college, I hated doing research. I hated it with the passion. I knew I had to, and that's why I did it, but I hated doing research. And now I'm finding like I'm getting more into it now that I'm no longer in school doing it. Like, it's like I'm in school, but I'm like no longer like doing research like that. And I'm kind of like more interested in like reading stuff like that and watching documentaries like that. So it's kind of like, I don't know, like it just kind of, it's a spark that's igniting again. And I think like the idea of like it being like it was school, and then like I don't know, but and then it being Anne Frank, like I think really like makes it something that it's really interesting to me, and I think it would be a good thing for me to read. So Okay, so it says, like almost every other American, I can't say these last names, Pankoke learned about Anne Frank in school when the retired FBI investigator visited the Anne Frank house, which is something like, it's on my bucket list I want to do. Well into his career, he was astonished to find that the question who betrayed Anne Frank had never been decisively answered. He said he loved nothing better than a challenge, and so he signed on to the cold case investigation immediately. Apparently, there was an ongoing investigation. Um, but as the project continued, he had moments of wondering what he got himself into. The case was more than 75 years old. The betrayer and most. Okay, all right. So it was an ongoing case, but it was closed, but then it was like still in the record, like that type of thing. The betrayer and the betrayer and most of the immediate witnesses were probably dead, and there were so many other complexities. We couldn't get any tougher circumstances, he said. Still, he couldn't shake the feeling that this is what he needed to do. So, I don't know if there's an answer. I don't know if it's like ends like most documentaries where it's like, I don't know, but this is the story and we learned something and let's move on with our lives kind of thing. So, I'm excited to read this. It's a beautiful book. Has pictures of Amsterdam. So it's brown. And it has this little kind of thing on the side. So, really excited. And so, yeah. Next book is a book written by someone I know. He was a professor of, not a professor, he wasn't my professor, but he was a professor that I was associated with in college. And I knew very well, and I still am in contact with him. And this is his book, and it just came out, and I'm super proud and super excited. This is The Death of My Father the Pope by Obed Silva. It's a memoir, and, ooh, pretty. I like. All right. It's a story about his father who, was, well, let me just read it to you. A man mourning his alcoholic father faces a choice whether to pay tribute, lay scorn upon him, or pour a drink. Weaving between preparations for his father's funeral and memories of life on both sides of the U.S. Mexico border, Obed Silva chronicles his father's alcoholism, a lifelong love that ended only at his death at the age of 48, having poisoned himself one carta blanca at a time. Addiction respects no borders. The havoc Silva's father wreaked on his family not only followed them north, where mother and son moved to escape his violent drunken rages, but would make itself felt even from the grave. With the wry cynicism, a profound anger, an antic, brutally honest voice, and a hard-won classical frame of reference, Silva channels the heartbreak of mourning while wrestling with the resentment and frustration resulting from addiction. The Death of My Father the Pope is a fluid and dynamic combination of memoir and examination of the power of language and the introduction of a unique and powerful literary voice. Sorry. I was just like reading that and I was like, yeah, that's exactly him. As someone who knows him, like it's exactly like his personality and how he would write. So I'm very proud of him. And I'm excited to give this a read. And yeah, that's all I can really say about it. I can't wait to. I'm kind of scared to give it a review, but I can't wait. And he, when I see him, there he is in all his glory. Super proud student, super proud mentee, and yeah, I'm excited to read that. All right, now we're gonna get into sort of all these books, same kind of genre. I bought these at a school book fair. Okay, there's a story with this. I have not been to a school book fair since I was a kid. I didn't even know they did book fairs anymore. I thought they just kind of gave you the scholastic kind of thing and you ordered books, which is fine. We did that too. But then we also had book fairs. But I haven't like seen one in a while, especially when I was in LA. And so my brother had never experienced a book fair. No, wait, sorry. My brother did in his early days. My sister had never experienced a book fair. And so the school that I work at had a book fair. And I had to go. And I don't care if some of these books, no, all of these books were young adult fiction. Sorry, not young adult, for kid fiction and or young adult fiction. And like they were also like teenage fiction, like, you know, like, but like teenage fiction is kind of young adult, like, I don't know. It depends. But I don't care. I still read books that are focused to a younger audience. I still enjoy them. And that's just the type of reader that I am. So I got pretty hefty collection and I don't regret it. You know, I'm excited. There was a lot more and I was like, this is enough. There's enough scary stories in here to, like, it'll be fine. It was like after Halloween time. Oh, wait. This is not a scary story. That's going to go on the side. I'll tell you that later. But I'm still like really into the whole scary story vibe. I think it's because I'm reading the one I am about Prince Dracula and I still haven't gotten like that creepy vibe and I'm like, I want that. I got that in the original, but I want that. And especially like during Halloween, it's like I started reading that and it's like, I want it so bad. Okay. So the first one we have here is The Undrowned by K.R. Alexander, from the author of The Collector. In Too Deadly, In Too Deep. Samantha and Rachel used to be friends, but then Rachel betrayed Samantha. And Samantha decided to make her life a living nightmare. Then one day, Samantha and Rachel found themselves in a fight by a lake. Samantha pushed Rachel and watched as Rachel fell back into the water and gone. No way to save her, no way she could be alive. The next day, Rachel shows up at school as if nothing happened. And now she's the one who wants to make her former friend's life a living nightmare. So, spooky, not spooky. Now that I kind of read it, it's like, it's a kid's book. But, like, I think it would be spooky enough. So we can get through it rather fairly quickly. And I'm excited. So we got that. Anyone else like folding like books and like playing like, not so much where you like ruin it, it's more like I like the sound. Okay. This one, these are all, some of these are like from the same like author and stuff, and a lot of these are like just like scholastic books and short stories by the same author. These are from the same author as the other one. This one's different. Okay. This one's when the lights go out, the horror arrives. Darkness. This one's more spooky. What is happening on Founders Island? Alec is a new kid on Founders Island, an isolated place where most people have lived their whole lives. His friend Hannah's family goes back for generations, but even she doesn't know the island's deepest secrets. Life is normal on the island until one day all the light, I don't know. Not just the electricity, the sky as well. Founders Island is plunged into complete darkness. Then, just as abruptly, the light returns until it goes out again. The darkness keeps coming back, and in the darkness, horrible things await. So, not sure really what it's about, but it's like a spooky kind of thing. This is the first time I'm reading the backs now that I think about it, but I'm like, it's okay. You know what? I spent money on them, but it's okay. It's okay. This one is by K.R. Alexander. If you don't behave, she'll come back from the grave. These are the ones I'm really excited. These are the ones that I read the backs for, and then there's one that I'm super excited for too. This is Haunt Me, and it's a collection of like short stories. Isabella, is that you? One of them is a collection of short stories. Anyway, I'm excited about it. Maria has never gotten over her sister Isabella's death, and the guilt she feels about what happened. It hangs over everything she does, even an innocent slumber party with her two best friends. When one friend suggests they play a game that summons the spirits of the dead, Maria thinks it's all make-believe, but then she starts to hear from a spirit claiming to be her sister. Maria doesn't want to think it's possible. The sinister spirit has a way of making her listen. Has her sister actually returned? So, yep, we got that one. And then, like, the covers kind of sold me. I'm, like, really into, like, ghost shows. Like, Ghost Hunters and, like, Ghost Adventures, even though Ghost Adventures is, like, you kind of just watch it to watch it. You know, it's one of those shows. And, like, yeah, like, those, like, spooky ghost documentaries, like, A Ghost Story, This Is My Ghost Story, whatever those are called. So, I like those. New house, new town, new nightmare. This one is, you can't get ahead when you're chased by the dead. Follow me. It's strange enough for Tamal to be the new kid in town, but it's even stranger to be living in the house that everyone wants to avoid, a house with a very deadly history. Nobody wants to talk about what happened, nobody except the terrifying girl Tamal keeps encountering throughout the house. Tamal's parents can't see her, but he's sure she's there, and she wants something for him. Tamal's family thought his house would be a new start, but instead it might be a dead end. So, I got this one. And then this one I think is the collection. No. One of them was a collection. I don't know. Anyway. The Haunting, Lindsay was on like sale. It was like a $2 special. I can't read the last name. Do what? I can't. The past always comes back to haunt you. You'll never replace me. Emily's dreams are finally coming true. The kind and wealthy Thorntons want to adopt her and whisk her away to a new life at Blackthorn Manor. At first, life is wonderful, but as Emily explores the grand estate, strange things start happening all around her. It's almost as if someone or something wants her gone. Now it's up to Emily to untangle a dark family secret hiding in her new home before the life of her dreams becomes a real nightmare. So, yeah, all these intrigued me. I did read the backs, and I thought it was a couple of stories in one, but it's okay. So they kind of remind me of like those kind of like ghost stories, so I'm excited. And then I'm so excited for this one. All Victoria Schwab books that I have read that like have these like spooky kind of like things, super good, super good. Okay, so this is her newest one, I believe, or one of her newest ones, but this one was like $2. A haunted girl, an adventure like no other. City of Ghost. I think a lot of books are named City of something, which is interesting. Cassidy Blake's life is full of ghosts. Ever since Cass almost drowned, okay, she did drown, but she didn't like to think about it. She can pull back the veil that separates the living from the dead and enter the world of spirits. Her best friend is even a ghost, so things are already pretty strange. But they're about to get stranger. When Cass's parents land a gig hosting a TV show about the world's most haunted places, the family heads off to Edinburgh, Scotland. Here, graveyards, castles, and secret passageways teem with restless phantoms, and when Cass meets another girl who shares her gift, she realizes how much she still has to learn about the veil and herself. And she'll have to learn fast. The City of Ghosts is more dangerous than ever imagined. From the... I was just talking about the author, but from the number one New York best-selling author Victoria Schwab comes a thrilling, spooky, action-packed tale of hauntings, history, mystery, and the bond between friends, even if that friend is a ghost. So excited! I have not read the back, but like I saw it and I was like, yes. So excited. So excited. The fact that it takes place in Scotland, obsessed. Obsessed. This one I got, even though like this is not my favorite movie of all of them. I love like the Dog's Purpose movies, like so good. This one was a little bit more like CGI kind of thing, but it was really good. So I picked up this one. They didn't have the Bailey one, which is like my favorite. So there's this one, Bella's story. I just want to read it. It's so cute. Look, puppy. I love puppies. Okay. Okay, Bella, time for you to learn how to go home. We played Go Home a lot. At first, I ran straight to Lucas and lay down by the door and got my treat. Then Lucas picked up my leash and we walked together, with Olivia by our side. Maybe we were going to the park. That would be fun. Then Lucas dropped my leash. Go home, he told me. I stared up at him. That was very odd. Go home and running to Lucas, but Lucas was already here. Lucas and Olivia were watching me intently. She'll get it, Olivia said to Lucas. She's really smart. Just wait. They stared at me. I stared at them. They wanted me to do something, but what? So, super cute. I'm excited. It's like, oh, there's pictures. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, yes. This is what I love about little kids' books. Yes. Okay. So I'm excited about this. But that's it. This is probably a very long video. I really don't care. It's my first book video in a long time. And I had a lot. So if I had brought down all of them that I had accumulated, it'd be way too much. But yeah, sorry about the lighting. It's very sunny today. And windy apparently. But some nice beautiful day outside, even though the weather has been a little weird lately. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video and I hope to see you real soon. Bye.